Located on the north side of Fort Worth, Texas Motor Speedway rose from the prairie in the spring of 1995, carved by the movement of more than 4 million cubic yards of earth. When it opened the following year, this massive 1.5-mile oval immediately stood apart, featuring bold dual-angle banking and a vision of speed on a Texas-sized scale. The first major race came in April of 1997 when Mark Martin claimed victory in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. One day later, Jeff Burton delivered in front of a sellout crowd of more than 200,000 fans, winning the inaugural NASCAR Cup Series race at TMS. Just 2 months after that, Kenny Irwin Jr. added his name to history as the track's first NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series winner. Texas Motor Speedway has also played a pivotal role in the career of Dale Earnhardt Jr. It was here in 1998 that he scored his first ever Xfinity Series win. And just 2 years later, on the same high-speed stage, he captured his first Cup Series victory. Not long after, the track was reconfigured, removing the original 8-degree portion of banking in pursuit of even faster racing. Through the years, Texas has continued to evolve, reshaped, reimagined, and relentlessly fast, demanding precision, bravery, flawless execution at 190 miles an hour. Tonight, under the Texas sun, it's time for the ZeroX Strategy Series TH Designs 301, and it's next on Track Limits Network. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the virtual Texas Motor Speedway. Beautifully updated by iRacing fairly recently. I'm Steve Singer with Track Limits Network, joined in the broadcast booth by Zach Millett. What's going on, Zach? Thanks for hanging out with us again tonight.
Hey, Steve, buddy. How we doing, man?
We're doing well. Let's take a look at the details. We're on a tape-delayed broadcast, but we'll try to bring you the action as if it were live this evening. 125 laps the distance. Fuel window tonight between 40 and 44 laps, depending on how aggressively you want to go with the save. 2 sets of tires available over the wall, no fast repairs, and 1 attempt at a green-white checkered finish. Weather-wise, 75 degrees, 54% humidity, clear skies, pretty breezy here in Texas, 22 miles per hour. That's going to affect the handling of these race cars in some angle or some section of the racetrack. Track temperature, 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Actually relatively cool for being in this Texas sun. Practice just about wrapped up here from the Speedway. Currently, Brandon Moore fastest, 29.302. And it's the 35 of Ken Lowry, Carson Youngblood, Vincent Short, and Jackson West, the current top 5. So just about a minute and a half left in the session before we get into qualifying. Zach, what's kind of the keys to success around this place? You're a little more accustomed to racing these Gen 7 race cars. We talked a little bit prior to going on air about how fuel save can be done in a various different ways at this place. What's kind of a beginner's way to jump into trying to save fuel at Texas Motor Speedway?
Well, the easiest way, I think, Steve, to look at it is you're going to have to let off into turn 1 regardless. There's just really no way you can keep it in wide open anyway. So if you're going to let off, I mean, if you're trying to save fuel, just push that clutch in, let it roll, check up a little early. It'll actually help you save tires doing it this way too. You used to be able to shut the car right off, but thanks to iRacing's new updates, we can't do that anymore. So yeah, just push the clutch in, let the RPMs fall down to about just idling RPMs, and get back into it real careful. When you dump that clutch, you don't want to dump it too aggressively and kick the car sideways, but yeah, it can certainly be done here. In turn 3, you can kind of be a little more aggressive. You can still do the lift and coast type deal, just not for as long.
With all that said, you mentioned it's also going to kind of help you save some tire. And only 2 sets over the wall here tonight, 125 laps being the distance here at Texas. About 301 kilometers would be the full distance tonight. But how important is that tire strategy going to be this evening?
That's one thing I like about this league, Steve, is the lack of tires over the wall. So these guys just having 3 sets for the entire night, that makes it interesting. You're going to have to take care of your stuff, and you'll see some guys bombing it into the corners a little too hot. It's going to kill that right rear. It's just, it's going to reward you on how you drive it. If you take care of them, you're going to be a little quicker in the long run.
Practice complete. Brandon Moore wins the session. Doesn't pay anything, but a little bit of bragging rights for the driver, the number 3. We'll get right into qualifying, well, right now. Let's see who goes to the Speedway first, who begins their effort. Looks like Chris Stange will roll off the pit lane first. So we'll go back to you on this, Zach. Qualifying run here at Texas Motor Speedway. Where is there time to be gained? Do you really just go out, take it easy on that out lap, knowing that lap 2 is probably going to be quicker, or is lap 1 the lap of record that these drivers will be working with tonight?
For me in the past, I've always had more luck with lap 2, just kind of sacrificing everything about the out lap, the first lap, and all for nothing on the second lap. You just get the tire pressures where you're most comfortable at, where they're going to hold the best. And they're going to hold better in the grip-wise in the middle of the corner. You're going to be able to get to the gas a little quicker. And I think just about everybody here will be quicker second lap.
Every time I ask you racecraft type questions, I feel like you're real nervous about giving us an honest answer, like you're giving up state secrets.
I'm treading careful.
First lap for Chris Stange, 29.429. Puts him top of the board. Lowry second. Brandon Moore fourth, but drops down as Youngblood runs at 29.43. Stange calls it an attempt. That's it for him. Youngblood's still on the track. Second quick, his first lap. We'll see if that lap 2 is quicker, and he's going to come around here off of 2. Does he save it? No, he's going to pancake the inside wall. His effort out the window as Moore now will cross the stripe. Does he improve? Lap 2. No record. Might have got the wall.
Yeah, I might have scratched the wall there somewhere.
Maybe the same story for Short as he slips down to 7th. Johnny DiPasquale second on his first lap, though it's not displaying some of the idiosyncrasies we run into when we do these races on a tape delay. Some of the live data doesn't get sent properly, but for the most part, we can still run this thing no problem. Just about halfway through this qualifying session, Johnny DiPasquale will cross the stripe. Locks in 29.483. Lap 2, even though it shows lap 1.
Throwing us for a loop tonight.
Nathan Line now onto the Speedway. Line's a little shy. You can tell by his driver photo there. Doesn't want to lift that visor up and let everybody know it might be Superman behind that thing. You never know.
Yeah, it worked out for the Stig for a long time.
That's a good point. Nathan out of Charlotte, North Carolina. 29.73, 13th, now 12th quick for Line. We got Cody Dean in the chat, says, excellent intro. Don't thank me, thank ChatGPT. Chris Pieria out of St. Louis. Chris Stange still the fastest on the track, 29.429. Just about a minute and a half left in qualifying. Pieria 22nd, he goes one and done. Matt Sisler out of the Auburn Hills, Michigan area. Sisler really coming on strong this season. A couple of wins, including an all-star race. Ooh. I don't know if you saw it there, Zach, but he kept a lot of wheel into that thing through the dog leg. How much speed did he scrub there?
And I imagine it scrubbed quite a bit of it. Right there, too.
Yeah, speaking of scrubbing speed.
That's a big scrub, though.
So Sisler around off turn number 2. You may see some of that here tonight.
Kind of makes you pretty excited to watch this race, man. If the cars are this much on edge, this will be pretty exciting in traffic.
So that'll do it for Matt Sisler. He's the last driver on the racetrack. Tom Janikowski, Chris Gornett did not take a lap in this session, so they will start from the rear. That'll do it for qualifying as the clock's just about to strike 5 minutes. 5 minutes time, 2 laps, whatever came first, and well, this one's over. We're not going to delay too much longer here. We're going to get right into the race session here as soon as the timing and scoring finishes updating. And there it is. So it's time for our race. Take a look at the starting grid on the pole position with a lap time of 29.429. It's the number 72 Fueled Up Motorsports driver of Chris Stange. On the outside pole, look at that, Zach. 2 1,000ths of a second. The difference from pole to outside pole. Missed it by that much. Row number 2, it's Carson Youngblood and Jason Blaney. Row 3 will be Kenneth Lowry and Jim Treat. Row number 4, Wesley Jeanette and Raymond Hanneman. Row 5 belongs to the 3 of Brandon Moore. And the Track Bar Motorsports number 15 of Vincent Short. Starting 11th, 31 of Matt Sisler. Kerwin Marshall rolls off from the 12th spot. Starting 13th, it'll be the 5 of Scott Stockel. Look at that. We got the scroll working again. Austin Walton starts 14th. 15th goes to Nathan Line. Tommy Pulte will start 16th. Blake Hochschild, 17th. 18th starter will be Jason Aranchak. The 14 of Michael Thorne rolls off 19th with Benjamin Smith to his outside in 20th. 21st starter Don Canwright. Chris Pieria, 22nd. 23rd Darren Jones. 24th starter it's Jackson West. Tommy Janikowski and Chris Cornett will round out the field in 25th and 26th position. Neither driver attempting a lap in qualifying. They'll just sit on their I rating to schedule them out at the back of the pack. We'll see what those guys can do before this one's all said and done. Well, it's that time, Zach. We got to make some picks.
Oh, man. Who's picking first? What are you thinking? I feel like I picked up the first pick last time and it benefited me, so why don't you take it away?
All right. I'm going to go with... Oh, Lordy. I'm going to go with the 74 Wesley Jeanette.
It's a solid pick, solid pick. It's tough. I'm trying to think of who's going to be good at saving tires, who's going to be good long run. And I don't know. I think I'm going to go with the 85 machine, the old Canadian car, Raymond Hanneman. I think he's got what it takes long run, and we'll see what he's got here.
Take off, eh?
Take off, eh?
All right, Raymond Hanneman from our neighbors to the north. Looks like he's going to start in a 7th spot. He's going to be a factor one way or another tonight as the field rolls off a pit lane. One pace lap before we get under green, so let's take a look at the details yet again. 125 laps the distance tonight. Field window 40 to 44 laps if they're all under green flag. 2 sets of tires over the wall, 3 if you count what they're rolling on right now. No fast repairs and 1 attempt at a green-white checkered finish. It's about that time.
Well, I'm excited for this one, Steve. Texas is a great spot. It's one of my favorite places to race these newer Cup cars.
To me, it's like if Charlotte and the old Atlanta had a baby.
Yeah, I like it.
You want to get that picture out of your head.
Yeah, I can't. It's there. Damn it.
TH Designs 301, field in turn number 4, getting ready to go racing here from Texas Motor Speedway. It's time. Pace car comes to pit lane. Chris Stange, Johnny DePasquale on the front row, and we are green and racing. Stange with the lead over DePasquale into turns 1 and 2. Now Jason Blaney in the 22. A big wiggle on a DePasquale off turn number 2, and around he goes, and we're in trouble already here in Texas.
Oh, man. Oh, it's going to get worse.
So caution is out already, not even a half a lap in. We've got trouble on the back straightaway from one of our front runners. I don't think Johnny had any help there other than potentially a wind gust. Brandon Moore at the bottom of the racetrack. He's yet to drive away from the scene. And folks, I want to remind everybody this is a tape-delayed broadcast, and unfortunately I cannot go back and run these replays because if I click the live button, it will end the replay entirely, and well, you just will miss the race. But we kind of caught that one live. You saw him kind of come around there off of turn number 2. Tank slapped it just a bit, tried to correct, but unfortunately everybody on top of everybody there off of turn number 2 on the initial start, collecting a handful of drivers. Johnny DePasquale, Jim Treat, Nathan Line, Brandon Moore, Scott Stockel involved in this one.
Yeah, man, there's a lot of guys I hate to see that for, especially Johnny D, man. He had a really good qualifying effort, and let's see if he can get back up to the front here. He's got a long time to go.
Interesting thing here, we got Carson Youngblood, Wesley Jeanette, and others going to come down and pit.
This is not a bad idea, you know, just come down, top off. Definitely not put a set of tires on it just yet, but you know half the field's going to be on pit road because of that wreck, so you might as well just come down, top off.
Good chunk of drivers actually coming down here. Top 7, 8 drivers stay out on the racetrack. We've seen this quite a bit in this series. Zach, you mentioned it being the ZeroX strategy series. They kind of set these races up to force some decision-making out of the drivers. It's not enough to just be fast. You got to be smart behind the wheel as well. But we see this quite a bit. Early caution, even if it's lap 1, these guys will come down, try to get themselves a little bit off sequence from somebody else that they might believe could be faster than them, kind of trying to get that edge over that driver so that they don't have to worry about being necessarily the fastest.
Yeah, it's a game of inches, right? So, I mean, a lap 1, something happens, you can get a little topped off on fuel, a little extra advantage on these guys. Imagine if it went green the rest of the way. You know, this could actually play out and change the end of this race.
It's a game of inches in 1967. Now we're talking thousandths of an inch.
Yeah.
It's back when they were setting the toe with string.
Yeah, the good days.
Should get the 1-to-go signal this time by. There it is. Pace car lights have gone out. Pace car taking a wide entry into turn 1.
Yeah, maybe he's got the clutch in.
Stange is ready to get going here. I think he knows he's got a fast race car underneath him at a place that he is quick at. Only got a couple of corners in anger before the yellow came back out.
And he's in a pretty good spot here, too, because he's got 3 of his teammates right behind him, too.
Stange, Blaney on the front row, Hanneman, Lowry in row 2. Then it's Pulte and Thorne in row 3. Giving attaboy to Michael Thorne, working his way up already, up 13 spots with a lot of those drivers opting to pit. There it is, green back in the air. We're racing it again from Texas. Let's see how far we can get into this thing now. Maybe a long run. Stange out to the early advantage. Blaney and Hanneman playing peekaboo with each other. Blaney in the second spot in the 22. Hanneman there in the 85. They've broken away already here from the 4th place machine of Ken Lowry. Tommy Pulte in 5th. Thorne still hanging on to the 6th spot. Side-by-side battle for second. Hanneman going to the outside off turn number 2, looking for the spot. Blaney might not put too much up of a fight right now. Again, 2 Fueled Up Motorsports teammates. They're going to push and see what they can do, but they're not going to push the issue too far at this stage of the race.
And you see Blaney kind of give way there and fall in behind.
Stange got a poor exit off of turn 4. Really opens the door now to Hanneman. Hanneman looking for the race lead now.
Yeah, it almost looked like he checked up. Maybe he was just pushing up towards the wall there.
Hanneman got a little loose there on the exit of turn 2. It opens the door for Blaney now. Blaney to the bottom of the racetrack, takes the second position away. We're going to see a lot of this tonight, I think, at least in the early portions of a run. Guys got their hands full, especially off turn number 2, which has kind of been calamity corner here at Texas Motor Speedway, even prior to the reconfigurations and different banking that they've added here over the years. Progressive banking, that's the brain fart I was working on.
Yeah, and I wonder if it's just an early run type of thing, you know, where the tires are just not quite up to pressure yet, and it makes these cars feel a little skittish. Maybe these cars they should build tight, you know, and almost become a little easier to drive.
Battle with Wesley, Jeanette, Kerwin, Marshall. Marshall up top in the 4 Amazon Prime colors. Wesley gets alongside, now opens the door for Jackson West. Some connection issues for Kerwin Marshall there. And yes, those carry over into the tape delays. The data's not there to record. It doesn't show up when you go back and watch it. Ooh, Matt Sisler and Marshall almost coming together. Kerwin goes way up the racetrack to keep from hitting the 31. Does a good job, but it slows his momentum considerably. Now a battle for the race lead. Jason Blaney applying pressure off turn 2. Scary place to do it. Little wiggle out of the 22 on exit, but keeps his hammer down all over the back bumper of Chris Stange. Ooh, Blaney got the wall.
Yeah, it looks like Blaney really put the power to it about the apex there and just didn't stick for him.
Oh, big wiggle and big checkup for Stange. That'll open the door for Hanneman.
See what happens to the car when you get down there and you just clip that apron just a little bit with your splitter. It really takes off up the hill.
Stange managing to hold off Hanneman for now, but Hanneman still has the front bumper there to the left rear quarter of the number 72 as they roll down through turns 3 and 4. I think Hanneman's got the faster car right now. In fact, last lap was a almost full tenth faster than the race leader.
It's just so tough when you're that close to somebody because the dirty air just really just takes your downforce off the front of your car. And you'll see these guys kind of searching around to run any possible line that the leader is not.
All sorts of issues this week. That's kind of why we had a tape delay. We had a problem with our overlay system, and now it seems we're having a problem that has just started within our camera system. It's only working off of one individual camera. That's why you're seeing a lot of these views interrupted by the campgrounds. You can still kind of see what's going on. We'll switch over to the blimp cam here so you get a better picture of where we're at. We'll try and get that rectified here momentarily. Still a tight battle here up front. Stange with the lead over Raymond Hanneman, hanging on to that spot for the time being.
You can really see the difference of line there, and now Hanneman checks up a little bit more than Stange. Kind of starting to see the benefit off exit here, how he gets that run.
Now, what's the key there? Is he just backing up the corner there, getting back to the throttle a little bit earlier than the 72?
Yeah, maybe not this time, as he zooms around the outside and takes the lead off turn 4 here, but yeah, he's really taking the pressure off that right front too, checking up, and he's basically hitting the corner at a slower speed, so it's just not putting the same kind of strain on that right front that Chris Stange's car was.
3 Field Up Motorsports drivers at the front of the field as well. These guys might just be kind of working together with each other. Even at a place like this, Zach, is leading kind of detrimental to fuel save?
Maybe not so much for fuel save, but peace of mind. I mean, that clean air, there's nothing better than it. If you can get up there to that lead, you don't have to play around with the dirty air and search for lines. You can just go up there and hit your marks, and it's just the best place to be.
Got Albert Anderson in the chat. My claim to fame, I beat Zach Millett 1 out of 50 races. Great job in the booth tonight, fellas.
Good to see you, Albert. Hope's all is well, man.
Well, I think we fixed the camera issue. Let's see. There it is. All right. We're happy now.
Nice. That's much better. It's amazing the pace here, Steve. The front three cars have really taken off from the rest of the field. They got about a little more than 2 seconds on everybody else.
Yeah, Ken Lowry back and forth, 2.3 back from the race leader. Wesley Jeanette working his way up towards the front, running in the 5th position, and Matt Sisler up 5, already in P6. Fastest lap of the day for Sisler at 29.84. That's a whole 10th.5 off the fastest lap from our leader, Raymond Hanneman. Now, a lot of that could factor in with some dirty air back in the pack for the 31. We'll see if he gets out in front into some clean air, if that 31 car's got the pace.
And if I'm thinking right, Sisler and Youngblood here are the first cars that came to pit road to top off there, so they really didn't lose much of anything, just coming down and taking that extra fuel load.
So if we run green here, Zach, those guys will eventually cycle to the race lead unless Sisler decides to pull the undercut here on those guys. But tire fall off right now, we're about a half second, only 20 laps in.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if we're getting around 40 laps per tank. You know, having that extra couple laps could be the entire difference here. That could be perfect, really.
Brandon Moore survived that opening lap incident. He's still running in the lead lap on the 11th position as he runs around Kerwin Marshall. Going to try and take it from Jackson West, too, and maybe the 26 of Tommy Pulte. Brandon Moore on rails right now.
Yeah, 3-for-1 special there. That worked out great.
Must have got the Delco group on. Oh, big wiggle from Jackson West. Hangs on to it. Oh, man, close quarters battle between the 4 and the 26. Marshall turned down, and I'm not sure he was clear at the time as Jackson West pancakes the wall, goes off-road a little bit, but keeps it back on the racetrack and out of the wall.
That might have hurt the car. That was a pretty hard hit.
See him shaking the car a bit down the backstretch, just trying to get a feel for where it's at. Johnny DePasquale started up on the front row, but quickly his afternoon went from good to terrible. A little loose on the exit of turn number 2. It came around while he was trying to hang on to it, but looks like he's got it repaired, at least to the best of his ability. He's still running back in the 16th position.
Yeah, I don't think he got any real terrible damage. Just a couple scrapes here and there. No wheel damage, which is the only important part. A couple scrapes up there on the right front, but that shouldn't hurt him too bad.
Working our way back through the field, Tom Janikowski in the 20th position. Made some hay here since the start of this. He's up 5 spots, looking for another one here, taking it away from Chris Pieria if he can get it completed. Up the racetrack, Chris has the run down the backstretch, so nothing doing for the 93 just yet. Then to Darren Jones. Darren in the 2:17. He's the last car currently on the lead lap. We got DJ1's 2:17. That's probably D Jones with an underscore mixed in. He says, hey, how's it going, Darren? I don't know if you said, hey, how's it going before or after we started talking about you, but either way, good timing.
Yeah, it really was perfect timing. He brought him on screen and he commented. Good looking car there on the 217.
Just biding his time here. Started 23rd. He's running 24th. Car looks clean. Lots of racing to go. Things are changing up towards the front, or are they? If that's anything, it's the gap between Hanneman and Blaney now extended to 3 or 4 car lengths, maybe more at the line. 29 laps complete. Again, we've had a caution very early in this one, first half a lap. Drivers spinning on the opening lap off turn number 2. Some drivers getting collected. In that fuel window, Zach, 40 to 44 laps. I'd say we're going to push that out to probably 43 to 46 laps, you think, with that extra caution?
I would imagine at least, yeah. You're saving quite a bit of fuel there just running at about idle speed.
Interesting to note, Chris Stange has really lost touch with these top 2 drivers. 3.5 seconds back is the 72. Darren Jones in the chat says he started late in this season, so he's kind of just trying not to cause any issues with the drivers running full time. It's very noble of you, but you got just as much right to race for positions as the next guy. Just try not to wreck anybody. You'll be all right. And Lowry still in the 4th spot, started 5th. Wesley Jeanette hanging tight there in P5. Sisler making some moves here, might try to take the 5th spot away from Wesley Jeanette. Go on board with Matt Sisler. Just like that, Matt takes 5th. And then some more. Sisler taking the 4th position with ease away from Kent. Oh, there he is. Saving some fuel now. Let's take a listen here. We'll go back to the in-car and watch the dash. We'll see if the RPMs come down. I used to consider blurring this out just to kind of make it realistic, but no, we'll watch the data. Clutch in. RPMs down. Sisler already in the strategy game, taking care of the fuel tank in this thing. Remember, he made a pit stop during that first caution, so kind of gave him another extra lap or so buffer. It's going to be more than that now that he's trying to save.
You can see how much longer you can coast in turn 1 and 2 compared to 3 and 4.
It's interesting, too, Zach. He's saving fuel out there with that lift and coast, but he's also gaining positions at the same time. We've seen some drivers able to do that, especially on road courses. We just completely change how you get in and out of the corner. You're off the gas far earlier, but then you're on the brakes far later. A lot of times guys can actually run the same lap times, if not faster. It's interesting. We're kind of seeing the same thing here out of Matt.
Yeah, it's all about timing. It's all about timing. If you can cut it off and get back to the gas and at the right time without sacrificing the exit at all, you can pretty much hit the same lap time every single time.
Brandon Moore on a charge, trying to get a couple in one shot. 3 wide as they get into 3. Lowry goes way up top. Jeanette's going to try and side draft the 3 in the middle of the corner, but to no avail. Moore's going to have the advantage, or will he? No, Jeanette's got a bit of a run at the stripe. That would have been too close to call. We got Dustin Rogerson in the chat. ZeroX Media says, hey, Steve, hey, Zach. Cody Dean's back, says, hi, Uncle Steve. Love Charlie. Charlie's got a big brother on the way here pretty soon. Little brother. Moore and Jeanette still side by side. This would be a battle for the 5th position. Jeanette wants to hang on to it, but Moore continues to charge back forward. He was one of the drivers involved in that opening lap caution, albeit I don't think too much damage, if any, to that 3 car, because he is still very fast out there. Fastest lap today for Moore was at 30.02. It's about 3/10 off the leader's fastest lap, but again, he's been in traffic in the dirty air. It's another example, like we talked about with Matt Sisler. Would love to see what kind of lap times those guys can lay down here in clean air on a fresh set of tires. Maybe we'll get a chance to see that later, maybe not, but I'm real curious.
Yeah, this is always the stage of the run that I'm most interested in, to see who saved their stuff and is really playing the big picture here instead of just going out and sprinting.
Jeanette looks like he just let Moore go there, or is he coming to pit lane? Man, I really thought he was setting up for the pits, but not to be, as Carson Youngblood now takes a look. Austin Walton now in the 9th spot, trying to hold off the 4 of Kerwin Marshall. Blake Hochschild in 11th behind this duo.
I'm watching a lot of these lap times, Steve, and it seems very sporadic. I think a lot of people are really checking their fuel now and aggressively saving everything they can here at the end of this run.
Well, you look at the total laps scheduled, 125. If that pit window is 40 to 44, again, depends on how aggressive you want to go with it. There's guys that if they're not careful and this thing runs green the rest of the way, they could be in danger of not making it to the end without a quick splash. I think one more yellow would really throw all that concern out the window, but it could be tight, especially if we get an opportunity at a green-white checkered.
Yeah, if you get a yellow right about now, you'd be golden. It'd pretty much line you up perfectly.
Top 10 fuel strategies right now. You see the top 3 drivers. They've been out since the drop of the green. They've yet to come down pit lane. Matt Sisler, as you see, he came down during the first caution. He's got 39 laps on this tank right now. Again, there's a lap or 2 in there with caution laps included, so they should be able to stretch a little bit further than the rest of those guys. Jim Treat in the 367 running 12th. It's down a handful of spots, 6 to be exact. But Jim spent a considerable amount of time on pit lane. He may have been caught out in that opening lap crash. His pit stop just about a full minute. He's still on the lead lap.
Running the high line in 1 and 2. You don't see that very often here in Texas.
You wonder if there's any suspension damage on that car that's forcing him up there to do that. Can't imagine it wouldn't affect him any less down in 3 and 4 if that were the case, but potentially the win, Zach, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell. That could be damage. I mean, that could be something that's really holding that car back from holding the bottom.
Current weather details, 75 degrees. Wind at about 18. It's a little less than when we came on air. It was at 22, but it's picked up again here at 20, and the caution is out.
Ooh, this changes things big time.
I wonder if the guys were starting to come to pit lane and somebody spun. It's hard for me to even say because in this instance, I didn't get an indication, again, as to who brought this yellow out. But nevertheless, second caution of the evening. So what does this do to the fuel strategy for these guys? Does anybody really need to save at this point? I mean, you're not going to save an entire run at this point.
Yeah, you're basically starting over. Everything you've done to save is all for pretty much nothing now. Everybody's going to come down and top off. So I don't know. We'll see where we go green here and where it puts them.
Hanneman's still sitting in the pit box, 40 seconds plus right now. He may have been part of this incident that brought us under the yellow flag. I don't know if he came down, if he got a penalty for an unsafe entry, or if he just lost it coming to pit road with traffic behind. Wesley Jeanette was slow as well, 30 seconds in the pit box. And now the leaders are going to come down and pit. So I'm going to say the 85 of Raymond Hanneman likely involved as to what triggered this yellow flag. Matt Sisler will lead the field back down into pit lane for this cycle of yellow flag stops.
Man, yeah, it makes you wonder if maybe he got an unsafe entry or maybe even speeding. But he's kind of fortunate the caution did come out because you'd go down at least 2 laps here with that kind of penalty under green. Yeah,
if you're going to have a problem like that, he's definitely lucky that he got a yellow out of it. Kerwin Marshall in the chat says, loving the broadcast, fellas. Kerwin, thanks for checking in, man. I don't always like to do tape-delayed broadcasts, but it sure is kind of fun, especially when the next day I get a chance to do this. Some of the drivers are able to tune in and watch and comment, and kind of turns into a little bit of a watch party at times.
It's pretty cool, too. If you're one of the drivers, you can always go back and maybe see some things you missed during the race, too.
Ray H613, I'm going to go ahead and assume that's Mr. Hanneman. If it is indeed Raymond Hanneman, let us know what happened there. I'm assuming it was you just based on the time spent in the pit box, but let me know if you've got further details, just because, again, I can't go back and replay this. Well, I could, but then if I hit live, we're going to go off the air because it'll be all done.
He comes back and says, I was just thirsty.
Oh, I thought he
had to grab another beer.
I thought he was getting an ice cream bar or something.
Oh, yeah. Yes, it kind of works out good for us, too. We can talk to the drivers during the entire race. This is great.
Looks like Blaney's going to get a lap back here, so he'll get sent around the pace cars. We're now on the one to go. So Matt Sisler and Brandon Moore will be the front row when we get set for this restart. Dustin in the chat helping us out. He's the race admin all the time. He says that it was Carson Youngblood involved. Little bit of right front damage on the 16. And then Hanneman says the 74 spun going into the pits. All right, so it's a little combo package there.
Oh, man. That was a couple cars on that different strategy, too. I hate to see that.
Well, a little bit of strategy out the window, but Matt Sisler's not complaining. He's now with the race lead with a fresh set of tires. So, Zach, we're going to kind of get our wish here to see what the 31's capable of here in clean air. Fastest lap of the day so far for him at 29.84. There it is, green flag called for. We're back racing here from Texas Motor Speedway.
Heck of a jump for the 31 car. You see him just pull away from the field here.
Further information from Dustin in the chat says Youngblood didn't hear the pit call out and ran over the 74. Kerwin Marshall side by side with Blake Hochschild for the third spot. Marshall on the bottom in the number 4. You know what, Zach? I'm going to go on board with Sisler. I think he's saving again. No, not this time. I swore I heard someone at idle down into turn 1 the last lap. We'll see if he does it this time by.
Yeah, most likely it'll be this end.
There it is.
A little early to start saving in 3 and 4. Brand new tires. It's not quite wide open, but you're leaning on it still pretty good.
Brandon Moore, though, all over the back bumper. A 10.5 the distance. We'll just call it a car length, maybe a quarter back to the 3. So you run down back to start finish at the stripe. It's still Matt Sisler in charge. Lap 53 already up on the board. Meanwhile, the battle's still hot and heavy with Hauschild and Kerwin Marshall. They're side by side through turns 1 and 2.
Man, it's good to see Hanneman up here kind of battling this group already, too. He's made some time up after that caution.
Marshall with some connection issues again in front of Hauschild and Hanneman. But you're right, Zach. Hanneman really knifing his way back through this traffic. Oh, almost contact with the 4.
Yeah, that's so scary with a car that's blinking too, because the net code just gets that
Oh,
much
and he
worse,
gets into
and
the
they make
85,
contact.
and does he save it? No! Yes, he does!
Nailed it.
Well done, sir!
Okay, very well.
Hanneman deserves a couple of cold ones after that, but man, wow, what a save. I think he drifted that all the way through turns 1 and 2. Looked like Kyle Larson out there hanging onto that thing. But unfortunately for him, right side tires are going to be screaming hot now. He'll have his hands full for a little while, and he's back in the thick of it, back in the 18th position after contact with the 4.
Well, he did it one time. He can do it again, even with a little bit of warmer tires. I've got faith in him.
Wow, incredible save. Even with the contact after that, I thought for sure he was going around. And is that Marshall going around?
It
Indeed
is.
it is.
What is going on here?
No caution, though. The 4 is going to head on back out. Here comes Chris Pieria. This might trigger a yellow.
Geez.
No, it still doesn't.
Big time right front damage here on this 4 car.
Yeah, Kerwin Marshall, he was just saying it here in the chat. He had a good run up front and then got in trouble, but had tons of speed and fun race. This part's not so fun.
Yeah, this part hurts after running up front for the entire race so far.
Meanwhile, change for position out in front. Brandon Moore has taken the top spot from Matt Sisler and not looking back. 4.5 tenths now back to the 31.
You got to wonder if he's saving fuel or if he's just kind of going for it at this point.
Austin Walton quietly has worked himself up into the top 3. Ken Lowry still 4th. Jim Treat also back in a position where he's more familiar, where he started in P6. He runs 5th now. Or does he? Johnny D back on the attack. Johnny in the number 1 got his repairs made. Now he's a contender yet again. Darren Jones top of the racetrack, just making a room for these guys, it seems.
Ooh, lots of contact coming off 4 there. 2-3 different cars.
Nathan Line running in P6. Trying to keep Jim Treat behind him, but Treat now to the outside. He gets clear of the 38, so Line back to 7th. Hauschild way up the racetrack, steps out on him a bit. Too much wheel into it, but he straightens it out. Man, what a hornet's nest back here. And Jeanette out of the cannon now up the middle here. Vincent Short on the bottom of the racetrack. Jackson West was to the outside, but Wesley trying to hammer back through this traffic. And there's a lot of it. Blake Hauschild, Vincent Short, now 3 wide as they head into turn 3.
Yeah, 4 wide going into turn 3. That's a little sketchy for...
Oh, boy.
It's not over. Watch this exit here. Oh, just barely made it.
These guys know they got to regroup. We're almost halfway, and they've really got to get themselves back into a comfortable position. Not throwing shade on anybody, but in any racing series, the further down the line you are in the running order, the more likely you are to be caught out in somebody else's problems, not just because of the talent, but strictly because of the numbers. The probability you're going to get involved in something is absolutely higher. You've got jokers to the left. Well, you know the rest of it goes. Meanwhile, Brandon Moore hangs on to a half-second advantage over Matt Sisler. We'll continue to watch this battle at just above the 15th position. Short there. Real tight on Hanneman. Now jumps in front of Ryan. Jason Blaney. These guys have had their run-ins a bunch this season. Short, real loose off of turn 4. Now contact with Blaney and Stange. They're 3 wide out of the dogleg.
Oh, man, we've seen this before. Hopefully these guys can stay off each other.
Short bottom of the racetrack. Blaney trying to pinch him down, or is he just giving Stange some room? I think it'll depend on who you ask. So Blaney now gets through. Short back in behind. Vincent running back in the 13th position. Stange still working the middle.
And that exit of turn 4 is claiming a lot of right fronts here.
That said, but we even got the comment with Kerwin Marshall in the chat. Says super slick at the end of turn 2. And I think a lot of that, Zach, correct me if I'm wrong, the banking there off turn number 2, it falls off dramatically. You're still really in the corner when it goes away.
Yeah, it flattens out extremely. It actually makes it very unique here at Texas because 3 and 4 is, kind of normal. It's like any other track. The banking stays in most of the time. But that's why when you go into turn 1, if you just kind of roll the bottom for as long as you can straighten out your exit and keep the car pretty tight.
Things settling down here just a bit. We're going to step aside, get to our track limits. Side-by-side break out of the way. Stay with us. We'll be back after this. Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws Late Model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
Need insurance coverage that's built for speed? Frank Yea's office in South Charleston has your back. Whether you're blazing down the highway, protecting the home you've built, or setting up a legacy for your family, we've got the coverage you need. Auto, home, life, fast, simple, and made for you. Scan the QR code on your screen now to explore all our services and start a free quote today. Lock it in, save it for later, or call us at 304-744-7700 to get started.
Back at Texas Motor Speedway, third caution just about wrapped up here. Chris Pieria in trouble on the back straightaway. Saw Vincent Short almost go around in the corner, but straightened his situation out. Pit stops completed here, and it looks like we've got some varying strategies. Top four drivers that are on the track now, Hanneman, Blaney, Stange, and Jeanette, have all decided to stay out. For the rest of the field opting for pit lane. They came down at lap 70. Now there is a couple of strategies at play here. Mostly, I don't know, Zach. I think this might be a fuel-only stop for a lot of these guys. Less than 8 seconds. I don't know if you're going to bolt on even 2 tires and take fuel in that amount of time.
No, it's interesting now, Steve, because there's enough laps left that if you don't take tires and a caution comes out with about 20 to go, it's going to be a substantial change in pace from freshies to old tires. So you'll probably see a lot of these guys just kind of roll the dice and hope for that caution and maybe just top it off, if anything. But if we stay green the rest of the way and one of these guys have 4 fresh tires and a full tank, it'll be pretty close.
Well, we're going to find out.
Gonna have to see who our first gambler is on 4 freshies and a full tank. It'll probably be easy to find because they're going to be in pretty much eco mode right off the bat here.
Front row as we are on the 1 to go is Raymond Hanneman and Jason Blaney. Then it's Chris Stange, Wesley Jeanette, Brandon Moore, Austin Walton, and Matt Sisler, Johnny DePasquale, Jim Treat, Tommy Pulte. Wow, there is a lot of fast guys sitting in that top 10 right now, Zach.
Yeah, every one of those guys and more can win this race. No problem here. It's pretty much everybody that's had pace from the start of this race.
Field in 4. Pace car going to make that left turn down pit lane. As Barney holds the green in his hands, ready to get things back underway.
Definitely a good restart by all 4 of those fueled up guys.
Communication helps.
Yes, it does.
Top 5 fueled up motorsports drivers all the way back to Brandon Moore in 5th. You got Hanneman, Blaney, Stange, Jeanette, Brandon Moore. These guys are going to be hard to guard.
I imagine all of them are on the same strategy.
Sisler running back in P6, just kind of peeking his nose out. Battle behind them, though. Johnny DePasquale and Austin Walton side by side for the 7th position. Walton powers around the outside of Johnny D. Gets clear of the 1. Will Johnny go back at the whip here? Maybe not. Car length and a half between the 2 of them, and now Jim Treat takes a peek to the outside. Jim way up the racetrack. You said it earlier, Zach. He's been running that real high line in 1 and 2 quite a bit tonight.
Yeah, it's strange. I mean, you can make it work on real fresh tires for a little while, but I mean, eventually it's going to just burn your stuff up big time.
See, Treat did pit most recently, but he did not take tires. So 50 laps to go from Texas Motor Speedway. Go ahead, Zach.
It doesn't really look like anybody's saving, does it?
No,
it
doesn't.
looks like everybody's pretty much full send here, so I don't know.
So that's the question too, Zach. If you're expecting this to run green to the end, what's the strategy? Do you pit as soon as you get into that fuel window, or do you run this down to the end? Or does it really just kind of translate to, all right, well, do I have a set of tires? Do I want to waste the time to put them on? What's the strategy play?
That's the thing. It's just too many variables. It depends on what you want. I mean, if you got to commit to it, though, no matter what. If you're going to kind of commit to stopping, just, save those tires and go as hard as you can. But if you're going to save, you're going to have to do it right off the bat here.
Or do you split these last 49 laps in half and just pit that way?
It's a lot of fuel to save, 49 laps. What we're talking about, 44 tops. I don't know if that can be done. I think you're just going to have to commit to a stop here. And if anything, maybe
hangs onto it through the grass.
Ooh. Oh, he's going to do some jumps here. Hangs on to a heck of a job there.
No, but what I'm saying is with now 48 laps to go, do you split this last run in half? Do you come down and pit after 22 laps or so, fill the tank? Oh, hard into the wall. I think that's Chris Cornett.
This is going to answer our question right here, Steve. If that yellow flag comes out, and I think it will.
Oh, it is. Yellow flag is out.
There's the answer to our question right there. So this will put us much closer to that window.
But is it close enough?
I think so. I think we're swinging now. I think by the time we go back to green here, it's going to be just about perfect. But, man, we've had a lot of cautions here recently. I mean, do you trust it? Take your last set right now? I don't know.
Cautions breed cautions, plus you got to factor in a green-white checkered, at least as far as the fuel is concerned.
Track position, even with new tires. I mean, it's tough to come through this field. Maybe not for Hanneman. He's done it about 3-4 times tonight. But it's tough, regardless.
Now you see why strategy makes racing fun?
I love it. This is what it's about. This is why it's hard to find leagues like this.
This is why crew chiefs get paid as much as they do.
Yeah, absolutely. This is why it's hard for iRacers, where they got to do everything while driving.
They go home and talk about Sundays like they were in Nam.
Yeah, PTSD.
Oh, Hanneman, little fake there. Sisler's going to come down, though. Is this a strategy call for the 31? No one goes with him.
This is interesting. I mean, I think we're right on the money here, though. I'm curious to see if he takes his tires here. I really am, because if he's the only one on pit road that's going to take fuel here, maybe don't take the tires.
There's a few coming in behind him now. Hochschild or Anchak.
See if she goes up
There's
here.
Right
yep, she's going
for
up.
Sure.
I think you're going to see 4 here.
Last set of tires for Matt Sisler. Does he have it? He does. 4 fresh Goodyear Racing Eagles going on the 3 birdies number 31 Camaro of Matt Sisler. He is down and away. 14.99 second stop. Nothing to write home about, but he's got the pace now and the tire advantage and plenty of fuel to make it to the end. So Sisler likely no longer in conservation mode.
And you see the guys that came out ahead of him, though, likely just topping the fuel tank and not taking tires. But Sisler here, he's got faith in this league. He thinks they're going to go green the rest of the way. And he's going to be in great shape if they do that.
All right, Zach, so where are we at lap-wise? Going to be starting lap 80 the next time by of 125. If you're Matt Sisler with fresh tires and a full load of fuel, what needs to happen for this strategy to pay off?
He is hoping for one thing and one thing only. He wants this race to go green. No cautions. He doesn't even have to show any pace here. The only cars that can make it with him to the end of the race here are cars on old tires. He can just clutch around and he's going to come back down and top it off again. This is a smart move too. But he can eventually just ride in the back of the field, take his time, and he's going to fly by everybody at the end of this run.
Yeah, Sisler's only going to give up a few spots here in topping off. but I think he's protecting himself against that green-white checkered. Again, only one GWC in this series, so you can kind of plan ahead. If you want to be a little conservative on your strategy, you can come down, take a little extra fuel so you know that you're good and give up some track position in the meantime. But I don't know. He's going to come back out here. It looks like going to be 18th. No, 19th? No. Yeah, 20th now for Sisler. I don't know if he's going to have to give the spot to Youngblood. He might be the last car in the lead lap when we go back green.
It will be interesting if we do get a caution, maybe 20 laps from now, because he's going to be forced to stay out. He can make it on fuel, and he's got his tires, his last set. So it's a roll of the dice for Matt here. Hopefully the car stays good for him the rest of this run.
Well, ready for the restart again. It'll be Hanneman and Jason Blaney on the front row. Chris Stange, Brandon Moore, then Wesley Jeanette, Johnny DePasquale, Jim Treat, Tommy Pulte, Nathan Lyon, Ken Lowry, the top 10.
A lot of fueled up logos on those hoods, Steve.
Yeah, and still a stacked top 10. Green flag. Ready to get back underway here at Texas. Not a bad restart by Hanneman, but Stange timed it quite well. It gets to the inside of Jason Blaney. Will take the second spot with ease. Will slide up on the exit of turn number 2. Little wiggle out of the 72, but he hangs on to it for the time being.
See those old tires start talking here as we get into this last run here.
Cody says, all that strategy talk between you two, just wait for the yeller.
That's just it. I mean, you put all this thought into strategy, and one yellow flag can just tip it upside down immediately.
So Hanneman seeing what he wants in the rearview mirror at Stange and Blaney fighting for that second spot. Wesley Jeanette's licking his chops, hoping that these guys make a mistake and he can pick up a couple more positions. Meanwhile, Stange, big run down into turn 3, jumps to the outside, but loses a lot of that momentum up in the top of the racetrack, opens the door for Blaney. Blaney there for second spot at the line.
He's going to take it here off turn 4.
Oh, wiggle again. I gotta tell you, Zach, as treacherous as turn 2 has been here this afternoon, really impressed with the ability for these guys to hang on to these race cars.
Yeah, in traffic too. It's gonna be fun, this little run here. A lot of these guys that didn't pit, they're just gonna kind of go, throw caution to the wind here and just go as hard as they can for about 20 laps.
Brandon Moore coming up into the picture here, stuffs his nose to the inside of the 72. Stange with the run down the back.
Just call it P3.
Zach, are we going to wager on whether or not we get a caution before this one's over?
Oh, man, as hard as they're running now. Oh, I see something on the ticker saying somebody crashed. I don't know how accurate that is.
Ben Smith in trouble off turn number 2, but no traffic coming, so we stay green for the time being. He's going to bring it down to the low side of the track to make sure that does not happen. So Ben Smith, a single car incident. Looks like off turn number 2, midway down the back straightaway, and we'll take it to pit lane.
All you had to do was say the C word, and it happened immediately. I don't even want to say the word again. Good job on him, though, keeping it low and off the racing line.
Vincent Short, off-road excursion, cuts through the grass in the end of pit lane. He may actually get a slowdown for that. I know it wasn't intentional, but he's going to stop. And does he? Yeah, he goes right to pit lane. So likely this race over for Vincent Short.
Yeah, it's going to be, as weird as it sounds, an unsafe exit for that. So that's a pretty significant penalty.
Matt Sisler up a handful of positions since the restart. Again, remember, he's out there with new tires and a full load of fuel. Lots of work to do for the 31 as he runs down Blake Hochschild and Janikowski. Janikowski in the number 93, top side.
You kind of see the line he's running here, Steve. I think he's taking it real easy. He just, somebody else going down through the grass there. A lot of off-roading here tonight.
Oh, Scott Stockel hard in the wall at turn number 1. Still no caution, and we stay green.
Man, that was tight. I don't know. That was pretty close. I think Cody Dean's got a point here. I think it might happen. Looks like he's going to make it back to pit road just fine here.
Meanwhile, Hanneman still out in front now, pushing it to 3/4 of a second advantage over Jason Blaney in second.
Now, these guys up front, Steve, they want the caution now. They want the caution. A perfect timing would be before they pit, obviously, but any time now would be a great time for them. They know they can come in, take their last set, top her off the fuel, and just race it right out.
Well, that's just it. I mean, we know for sure Hanneman and Blaney have a set. They have only made one pit stop in total tonight, and that was back lap 45 and 44, respectively. Brandon Moore has made 4 stops. Don't know if he's managed to save a set, but remember, he had some damage from that early race incident that he was trying to get fixed. And
here we go.
Come.
Here's our pit stops.
Wesley Jeanette, Chris Stange, you said it, Zach. These fueled up guys likely all on the same strategy, and here they come.
Man, I don't know if we mentioned it, Steve, but that pit entry line, that commitment line was way further back than I remember it being.
Well, they did just do an artwork update to the Speedway. A lot of graphics in the infield, on the racetrack, and even in lots of different things going on here. So maybe that was changed as well and updated. I know NASCAR in general does that as a rule if they find a need for it. iRacing usually pretty good about updating that sort of thing. We saw that at the new Atlanta Motor Speedway with that new pit entry for turn number 3, which I think is insane, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, same here. I think about the same on that, but yeah, hopefully the guys are practicing that in practice, because that could catch some guys off guard here at the end of this under green flag pit stops.
So those drivers coming down to pit has yielded the lead now to Brandon Moore. Moore, a masterful job so far, just staying with it, working on the car, getting it fixed, and now he maintains a 3.2 second lead over the 367 of Jim Treat. Tommy Pulte's in third, Ken Lowry fourth, eighth in line is fifth, and Matt Sisler is finding himself just outside the top 5, or is he? Looking for fifth, and he's got line cleared. So Matt Sisler up into the 5th spot, but no, slow on the exit of 2. Wonder if that car stepped out on him.
Either stepped out and he burped it, or he's really, really saving. It's hard to tell.
He was really low on the exit of turn number 2, and as flat as that place is in that section of the racetrack, he might have had his hands full at Kerwin Marshall in the fence.
That Amazon Prime car is going to start looking like the packages I normally get from Amazon, all banged up. He's running real low, Steve. He's running the eco line if there is one here.
I'm going to go on board with Sisler again to see if he's still really aggressive with the save. 30 laps to go.
This thing is going to be in 5th gear the whole time. I'm curious to see if he's clutching here.
There it is.
Betcha. This is smart. I mean, it's the way you got to race it.
I don't know, Zach. Is it too... I don't know. He should have had enough.
But remember, it's not just saving fuel. He's taking care of the tires by doing that, too. He's really saving tires. And every little bit he saves, if we do get a late caution, the fast guys on new tires, they have to come up through the field. He's going to be able to stay in front of them that much easier if he's got a little bit of extra life left in these tires. Look how cautious he is, getting right away from everybody.
Meanwhile, Brandon Moore checking out. 4.2 now. The deficit back to Jim Treat. 27 to go, and it's Lowry, Pulte, Sisler, the top 5.
Now, what's interesting for Brandon Moore here is that when he eventually comes down and takes his 4 tires, if we get a late caution, he's going to have this much newer tires than his other teammates that have come down, what is it, about 7-8 laps ago?
Second place Treat on pit lane. Yeah, that's a good point, but if we catch that caution, I mean, we've got now 12 cars on the lead lap. Going to be 11 here if Treat goes down. Actually could work out for Brandon Moore if we catch that caution, and if he does have a set of tires laying. He doesn't have a ton of work to do, but he's going to need it to happen sooner than later.
And it's a pretty significant pace difference. Hanneman and Blaney are out there running 29.84 and 29.99s compared to Brandon Moore's 30.35s. So it's not as much as you think. Could make the difference, though.
Pulte on pit lane. So some green flag stops for those that were trying to gamble a bit. And Brandon Moore, he's coming down now. So that'll move Matt Sisler to the race lead. Sisler out in front, Nathan Line there in view, just a few car lengths off the back bumper in second, and it's Blake Hochschild, Austin Walton, Jackson West. A completely new top 5, with those leaders making their last pit stop under the green flag. Yeah, Sisler's still lifting and coasting.
The thing is here, too, is, like we said earlier, if a caution does come out, Sisler is not going to pit. He's staying out. He is committed to the strategy. And look at the cars he's got trapped a lap down at this point.
Hanneman, Blaney, Jeanette, Moore, Chris Stange. Some seriously fast drivers. Obviously contenders here. They were all running top 5 prior to that pit stop, but having to make that final stop under green flag conditions, likely the coffin nail if those guys want to pick up a victory. The only hang-up here is if we do catch a caution, Hanneman's in the lucky dog position. He'd be able to get back on the lead lap and really not have a ton of work to do as far as positions gained at that point. Yeah, you have to start to think from the rear of the field if he gets that lucky dog. If anybody can do it, we've seen him do it before.
Exactly, yeah. Get out of my head, Steve, yeah. We've seen him do it, 4 times, so we know he can do it, especially if, I mean, he wouldn't even need maybe 3-4 laps to do it on the freshest tires.
Brandon Moore just runs the fastest lap of the race at a 29.54. Potentially a consolation prize for the 3. Zach Sisler's really turned into quite the strategist here in this series, which is kind of what it's intended to do. But how long before these guys start to catch on?
I don't know, man. I think most racers are going to watch this replay and catch on immediately. But it's hard to commit to these strategies mid-race. You know, it changes, like kind of Cody Dean says. You know, a lot of cautions come out, and it just it's all by, you know, every second you're changing your plan. It's hard to commit to a strategy like this, and for him to commit this long ago and really buckle down on it, it's impressive.
Matt Sisler sitting 3rd in points coming into tonight with 2 wins on the regular season. If you want to factor in the All-Star race, that would make it 3. Trying to get his 4th victory lane celebration this year. Yeah, Zach, he is still way out of the throttle. We'll go on board again. Really not doing that much in 3 and 4, Zach. Pretty much all afternoon. The only time I've seen him do it is getting down into 1.
It's hard to do in 3 and 4. It's not quite wide open, but you're kind of just feathering the gas in 3 and 4 to keep pressure in that right rear. But yeah, here you can just see he's rolling.
Wow, he's almost clear of the apex before he picks the throttle back up.
And it's nice too because as the car builds tight going into 2, like we were talking about earlier, how it flattens out on exit. If you dump that clutch just right, it kind of twitches the back of the car and helps you finish that turn. It kind of tweaks it out and you can kind of straighten it off.
15 laps to go.
The thing that's sweet here, Steve, is watching his lap times. You know, he's running a 30.66 that last time by. It's not that much slower than really anybody else out there. Even Hanneman and Blaney with the fresh tires going out, you know, about as hard as they can right now. They're running low 30s with 23 and a 36 last time by.
Hanneman going to work on getting his lap back, and here comes Jackson West. He's going to try and do the same.
Sister wisely just rolls the top and lets him go.
How difficult is it to make that decision, Zach, as the race leader, knowing you're letting a fast guy back on the lead lap like that? How enticing is it to try and keep him pinned down?
Well, just knowing that he has to go all the way back around to catch me again, I'd be totally okay with it. But I know what you mean. It's tough, especially, you know, Hanneman. He's been arguably the fastest car out there tonight, so you really want to make things difficult for him. But yeah, he's really got no fight in it right now. Just kind of roll and make it around. He's only got 12 and a half times to go here. He's looking good.
Current top 5 coming at 12 to go. It's Matt Sisler, Nathan Lyon, Austin Walton, Blake Hochschild, and Tommy Janikowski. Further down the line, Jason Aranchak, Carson Youngblood, 6th and 7th. Raymond Hanneman back on the lead lap in P8. Jason Blaney, 9th. Brandon Moore is 10th. And Nathan Lyon's going to come to pit lane.
I was kind of hoping old Nathan Lyon could have made it there. That would have been a really good finish for him.
Brandon Moore running down the race leader. Brandon will likely take his lap back momentarily here as well. So Matt Sisler off turn number 4, looking at 10 to go. Zach, he is still saving gas.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a point where I don't know how many green-white checkers they have in this league.
Just one.
Just one, so he's probably got more than enough. But it's the thing is he's been doing this entire run, and it's been working. You know, he's been hitting great lap times. So just stay with it. You know, don't change it up now. You know, you got 10 to go. Just keep doing what you're doing. I've done the same thing where I've saved more than enough fuel, but I'm just kind of used to how the car is driving with the clutch in. And I mean, just if it works, don't fix it.
If Sisler makes it to the end here, this would be the furthest he's gone on a tank of fuel all afternoon. He went 44 on that first run, but remember, he made a pit stop during that first caution. He's got 36, soon to be 37 laps on this tank of fuel. It's coming to 8 laps to go, so that's quite the stretch. I guess it does kind of make sense for Matt here to try and continue to save the way that he is, because honestly, if we get a green-white checker, he might not make it.
Yeah, it is pretty tight, isn't it? And he's got cars behind him, obviously, for position that have stayed out, but they're much slower. The only person he's really racing is Hanneman. He's back in 6th place, and he's about 29 seconds back. So he can give up a ton of time here if he really needs to save a little extra.
Sisler now with 7 laps to go.
Moves up and lets Blaney go on by, getting his lap back. Helps Sisler too, you know, tuck right in, get a little bit of a pull off that 22 car.
Full 8 seconds plus back to Austin Walton in second. Walton and Sisler pit at the same time.
He's about a half a second faster every lap than the 9 car, so pace-wise looking pretty darn good.
No, it's I don't even think Sisler's wide open on the straightaway right now.
Nope. See it kind of flicker in there.
Yeah, he was redlining it before. Last lap for Sisler was a 30.70 to Walton's 30.83.
Man, he was out a long time, almost the entire corner there.
Yeah, he's running 3/4 throttle down the backstretch.
It's like an electric car out there, Steve.
Easy, don't give me any ideas. I mean, technically they're all electric cars. We are in a sim, but whatever.
Right, yeah.
Matt Sisler trying to pull off the upset here. Definitely did not have the fastest car this afternoon. Was competitive, just didn't have the speed that those real top 10 guys had. He started, I believe, back in the 11th position. But has worked the strategy all afternoon long, saving fuel now with just 3 miles to go. Does Sisler have enough in the tank to see the checkered flag first?
It's great for these other guys too, Steve, that came back in. You're going to see if they can make it. You know, we still got a little bit of distance to cover here, but you know, Austin Walton, Blake Hauschild, Jason Aranchak. I mean, we could have some good finishes for these guys if they can all make it.
Off turn number 4, final lap here from Texas Motor Speedway. Even on the last lap, Sisler saving fuel. It tucks up behind Jackson West. Into 3 and 4 for the final time.
You're doing those burnouts. You're going to need a little bit left.
Sisler off turn number 4. He's not going to fail now. Checkered flag waves, and Matt Sisler wins again. Austin Walton will come home in the second spot. Jason Aranchak trying to hold on for third. Jason will make it as well. Matt Sisler leading 35 laps here tonight with some fuel strategy, considerable fuel strategy. Let's see if he's got enough to burn it down.
I think he saved just enough for the Three Birdies Golf Company, Camaro.
Yeah, I think he saved enough.
He's playing this the whole time.
Matt Sisler, ever the strategist, picks up the win here at Texas Motor Speedway, burns it down at start-finish. Will we see the Polish victory lap again? Indeed we will.
Classy.
With that, we're going to step aside here. We'll be back to wrap things up momentarily. We will not have our top 3 finishers available, as again, we are on tape delay. We're not sure if everybody was even available, but we'll come back, wrap it up, give you guys race results and all the deets. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws late model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
Need insurance coverage that's built for speed? Frank Yea's office in South Charleston has your back. Whether you're blazing down the highway, protecting the home you've built, or setting up a legacy for your family, we've got the coverage you need. Auto, home, life, fast, simple, and made for you. Scan the QR code on your screen now to explore all our services and start a free quote today. Lock it in, save it for later, or call us at 304-744-7700 to get started.
Back at Texas Motor Speedway, the TH Designs 301 in the books, and Matt Sisler bringing it home P1. Taking the checkered flag here with some significant fuel strategy, locking it down again. Unfortunately, no interviews tonight. Would love to have the guys up here, but not meant to be. No worries. But Matt Sisler, of course, your winner after a 35 laps led. Did an excellent job saving fuel here, Zach. I mean, you being a Conti guy, what's your critique on the 31 here tonight? How'd he do?
I think he did pretty good. I mean, I like how he committed to the strategy. Didn't change it up at all. Just knew what he had to do and kept his head down and did it, man. I give him a lot of credit. Credit for the other guys, too. The other guys saving fuel out there. Everybody seemed to make it and made it work.
Job well done by Matt Sisler, the 3 birdies Camaro, number 31. We'll take a look here at our race results. Matt Sisler picking up the win. Austin Walton came home in the 2nd spot. A solid run by Jason Aranchak. Same for Blake Hochschild. Brandon Moore drove it back up to finish P5. Hanneman was 6th. Jason Blaney finishes in the 7th spot. Last car on the lead lap. You see how the strategy played out for all these guys. Only 6 cars still on the lead lap at the end of it. 7, that is. Carson Youngblood was 8th. Wesley Jeanette came home in the 9th spot. Johnny D. Pasquale was the 10th place finisher. 11th went to Chris Stange. Jim Treat was 12th. Ken Lowry finishes in the 13th spot. Nathan Line, 14th. Tom Janikowski comes home in the 15th position. 16th went to Tommy Pulte. 17th was Chris Pieria. 18th finisher Michael Thorne. Jackson West was 19th. 20th went to Darren Jones. 21st finisher, the 4 of Kerwin Marshall after a tough night for a little while. He was running decent, but got caught up in a wreck. Scott Stockel, kind of the same story in 22nd. Ben Smith, 23rd. Vincent Short, 24th. Chris Cornett, also a crash, taking out the 88, 25th. And then 26th and last, 112 laps down, the 78 of Don Canwright. Tough go here at Texas for Don. Schedule-wise, of course, we got more racing coming up here soon. Texas this week over and done with. A little bit of a delay, but we'll be back here this coming Tuesday for Dover Motor Speedway. 150 laps at the Monster Mile. Tune in for that. It's going to be a fun one, certainly. Thought I was going to have to go out of town, but looks like I'm good to go. I'm going to go Wednesday instead, so you won't miss anything. Then further down February, Michigan Speedway on the 3rd. The 10th, we got Old Atlanta. Dega on the 17th, and then Watkins Glen. Scheduled race the 24th. I will be traveling, certainly. That one's booked for sure, but we're going to tape delay that. I should be able to get Zach Millett up in the booth just because, well, Watkins Glen's kind of our home track. We got to call that one together. 40 laps at the Glen. It's just shy of half distance of a traditional Cup race, about 105 or so miles and change that'll be. Darlington to start off in March, Charlotte Motor Speedway, then we roll into St. Louis at Gateway, and we close the season on March the 24th at Nashville Super Speedway. Zach, a lot of action coming up here in this series, a lot of strategy to be had. We talked about it a little bit during the broadcast, but how long before these guys start to catch on to Matt Sisler and his strategies?
I don't know, anytime you got one of these guys winning more than one time, they're going to start catching on and starting to watch these guys and what they're doing, putting a little more practice in. It's only going to make the rest of this field faster, Steve. It's going to be fun to watch. And I am so glad we got Dover and Michigan for the next 2 weeks because I should be here for them, if you'll have me.
Yeah, you're always welcome. I've said that to you and Chris Goins. Anytime you want to jump up here in the booth, you're not always going to get paid, but we'd love to have you nonetheless.
Hey, if you got beer in the booth, I'll be there, man.
Always. Before we get out of here, thank you to the sponsors, ZeroX Media and Design, Snowbelt Industries, Admin Box, Youngblood Racing, and Fueled Up. Without them, this broadcast doesn't get out there into YouTube land. So thank you guys all for tuning in. Next week, Dustin telling us here that it's the last race of the regular season. So we'll get into crunch time for the championship after that. So tune in. It should be a good one. A lot of points on the line. Everybody's getting geared up for that. So make sure you're here for it at Track Limits Network next Tuesday, about 8:20 in the East. Tune in here for ZeroX Strategy Series Racing. It's going to be fun to watch. Zach, thanks again for joining us here in the booth tonight. As always, welcome whenever you're ready. Congratulations to Matt Sisler picking up yet another win here at Texas Motor Speedway. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night.